Chapter 1. Celestial Manifestation over Israel. In a time that felt really important, like when something big is happening, a heavenly army showed up in the sky over Israel. They brought a special message of hope and strength to the people of Israel, who were having a tough time because their neighbors were causing trouble. This special event, where something from the heavens happened, was carefully written down and known all around the world. We are going to talk about this amazing time when angels came to help Israel. It was the year 1973, a long time ago. During that time, Israel and its neighbors had lots of problems with each other. There was something called the Yom Kippur War, and it was really hard for Israel. Syria and Egypt attacked Israel at the same time, and it happened during the holiest holiday for Jewish people. Imagine getting surprised when you are celebrating something important. Israel didn't have as many soldiers as their enemies, and things looked tough. But with strong beliefs, good plans, and some people saying that maybe God helped, Israel managed to overcome the difficult situations and stay a free and independent country. The story we are going to talk about is like a big adventure. In this adventure, something special happened in the sky that made a lot of people believe angels were there to protect Israel. Even though things were really challenging, Israel made it through, and this special event became known all over the world. It's like a special part of their history that showed how strong and determined the people of Israel were, even when things seemed really tough. So let's get ready to explore this amazing time when angels showed up in the sky to help Israel. It's a story that makes us feel hopeful and reminds us that even in hard times, there can be something special that helps us get through. Chapter 2. Facing Dual Threats. In the story we just talked about, the Israeli people showed how strong they were when faced with tough challenges from their neighbors. Let's find out more about what happened during this time of difficulty. There were two big challenges that Israel had to deal with. One came from Egypt, a country that had recently made new friends and got more support. Egypt confidently moved through a waterway called the Suez Canal, like it was going on an important journey. At the same time, another neighbor called Syria, taking advantage of problems within its own government, moved its army through a place called the Golan Heights. Israel, on the other hand, was mostly focused on making things better inside its own borders. They wanted to grow and be stable as a country. But when all of this was happening, they found themselves having to protect their land with only 3 strong vehicles against a massive number of powerful tanks from the Arab nations. It was like a tiny group facing a huge challenge. The events that unfolded during this time are still being studied by people who are experts in military matters all around the world. This is because something really important happened when the tanks from the Arab nations were getting close to Israel. At that critical moment, the Arab forces suddenly stopped and decided to go back. It was a bit strange because they were in a good position to win, but for some reasons that people still talk about today, they decided to leave. During this confusing and challenging time, some soldiers and people who saw what was happening claimed that they saw something amazing in the sky. It was like a group of angels, special beings from the heavens, appearing above the Israeli vehicles. This incredible sight inspired the Israeli forces and made the Arab forces feel scared. It was like a sign from something divine saying, "Stop, don't come any closer." Because of this extraordinary event, the order to stop the attack on Israel was given almost right away. Later on, the leader of the Arab forces said that when he looked at the Israeli vehicles, he thought they were going to win. However, the strange and unexplainable thing happening in the sky made them change their minds, and they decided to be careful and go back instead. So, in this part of the story, we see how the people of Israel faced 2 big challenges. But with their determination, and maybe a little help from above, they managed to overcome the difficulties. It's like a real-life adventure where things look tough, but then something amazing happened and everything changed. It makes us wonder about the power of belief and how sometimes, even when things seem really hard, something extraordinary can help us get through. Chapter 3. Celestial Protection as a Pattern. In the last part of our story, we learnt about an incredible event where it seemed like angels from the heavens helped Israel when they needed it the most. Now, let's talk more about how this special protection didn't just happen once but multiple times, showing that maybe there was something really extraordinary going on. Some smart people who study and understand different things, called analysts, and many people who strongly believe in something divine, see these events as something special. They believe it's like a powerful force from above, what they call divine intervention, helping and protecting Israel when they were at a very important point in their history. And guess what? This celestial protection wasn't a one-time thing. It happened again in December 2016. Imagine, many years after the first event, there was another time when something similar occurred. Israel was facing challenges once more, this time during a whole week of tension with another neighbor, Syria. People who saw what was happening again talked about seeing things that didn't make sense, things that seemed like they were from another world. During this second event, there were reports of more of these unexplainable happenings. A huge sandstorm, followed by a powerful storm, suddenly appeared in the Golan Heights area. It was like nature itself was creating a big wall that kept the enemy from seeing what Israel was doing. It was a natural barrier that protected the Israeli units from being seen by the people who might want to cause them harm. Now, as we dig deeper into these amazing events, we start to see that they are not just about battles and military plans. There's something more to it. It's like there's a special power helping and guiding the people of Israel. And guess what else? This protection isn't just about being safe in a fight. It's also about how it makes the people of Israel feel inside their hearts and minds. The strong feelings and determination that come from these special moments are like a big sign of hope. Even when things look tough, knowing that there's something extraordinary happening, something that can't be explained, gives the people of Israel a special strength. It's like a magical force that helps them stay brave and not give up. So, when we look at these events, it's not just about what's happening on the battlefield. It's also about how these extraordinary moments make the people feel inside. It's like a pattern, a special way that something divine helps and protects, not just once, but again and again. And as we continue our journey, we'll see how these moments shape the story of Israel in a way that's beyond what we can see with our eyes. It's like there's a bigger plan, and these events are part of something really amazing. Chapter 4. Psychological Resilience and Collective Determination. In our adventure through the story of Israel, we discovered some amazing moments when it seemed like something magical was happening from the heavens. These events, filled with things that are hard to explain and signs of something divine, brought a special kind of hope during tough times for Israel. Now, let's dive deeper into what these celestial events really meant for the people of Israel. They were like bright lights, showing the way and giving hope when everything seemed really hard. And you know what? These events weren't just about battles and wars. They also left a deep mark on the hearts and minds of the people who lived through them. The Israeli people, who are known for being really strong when things get tough, found something special in these celestial interventions. It was more than just protection from physical dangers. It was like a power that came from within. Imagine feeling like you have a shield not just around you but also inside your heart, making you brave and strong. The impact on the minds and hearts of the people was really big. It's like a feeling of determination, which means deciding to keep going and not give up, got even stronger. Even when they were fewer in number and facing really strong enemies, the people of Israel felt like they could keep going. It's a bit like a superhero feeling, where you know you can face challenges and come out strong on the other side. And you know what makes it even more interesting? Throughout the long history of Israel, there were many times when things happened that didn't make logical sense. These events, which often looked like something from above was helping, are like big signs that say you are special and there's something really powerful looking out for you. It's like the stories from long ago, passed down from one generation to another, tell us that there's a constant protection over the people who are descendants of Jacob, a special person in their history. So, as we continue our journey, we see that it's not just about battles and wars. It's also about the strength that comes from deep within, making the people of Israel keep going even when everything seems really hard. It's like a story of bravery, hope, and something really extraordinary happening over and over again. Chapter 5: Biblical Foundations of Celestial Protection. In our journey through the story of Israel, we discovered some incredible moments when it felt like something special from above was protecting and guiding them. Now let's dive into the ancient scriptures, which are like very old books that tell us about beliefs and teachings. These scriptures hold some powerful words that help explain why the people of Israel feel a strong connection to something divine. One special part from the book of Malachi, found in the King James Version, says, "For I am the Lord, I change not." This means that the Lord, who many believe is God, stays the same and doesn't change. It's like a promise that God's blessings, which are like special gifts, are always with Israel, the chosen people. This idea of unchanging divine protection gives a strong foundation to the thoughts and feelings of the Israeli people. But that's not all. The scriptures also tell us about a special celestial figure named Archangel Michael. He is like a powerful guardian working on behalf of the nation of Israel. People imagine him as a strong defender, someone who protects them when things get really hard. It's like having a superhero in the heavens who watches over the nation and its people. This belief in Archangel Michael adds another layer to the strong feelings of the Israeli people. When there's uncertainty and conflicts, which means times when things are not clear and there are problems, the thought of having a celestial guardian brings comfort and strength. It's like knowing that someone powerful is actively looking out for the nation, providing assurance that goes beyond what we can touch and see. So, as we look at these ancient words, we see that they are like a source of comfort and strength for the people of Israel. The idea that God's blessings are unchanging and that there's a powerful celestial guardian watching over them becomes a big part of their story. It's like having a promise from long ago that continues to give hope and reassurance, even in the midst of challenges and uncertainties. And as our journey continues, we'll see how these ancient beliefs shape the ongoing story of Israel. Chapter 6: Celestial Messengers and Mysterious Glows. In our journey exploring the story of Israel, we've come across moments when it seemed like something extraordinary from the heavens was helping and protecting them. Now let's delve into how these celestial interventions, which means events from the heavens, are not just about ancient beliefs. They are like a big part of who the people of Israel are. These celestial interventions go beyond just believing. They become something very important in how the people of Israel see themselves. It's like having a strong memory of being protected by something divine, which is like a powerful force from above. This memory, combined with stories from ancient scriptures, creates the identity of the nation. This collective memory, which means something remembered by a group of people, shapes the way the people of Israel think and feel when faced with big challenges in the world. The idea that they are part of a story that includes divine protection and mysterious happenings is like a special thread woven into the fabric of their history. Imagine having a guiding force, something that helps you be strong and brave when things are tough. The psychological resilience, which is like the strength inside your mind and heart, grows because of these celestial events. It becomes a force that empowers or gives strength to not just one person, but to whole communities. When faced with difficulties, they know they are part of a bigger story that has threads of the divine woven into it. Now let's think about how these ancient beliefs and celestial events still influence the people of Israel today. It's not just something from the past, it's like a source of inspiration, a feeling of being lifted up when facing challenges in the modern world. The historical patterns, like a repeating design of divine protection found in ancient scriptures and experienced through unexplainable events, inspire the people today. It's like a reminder that they are not alone in facing difficult times. The celestial threads, or the special moments from the heavens, continue to be a source of hope and strength even in the complex world we live in now. As our journey continues, we'll see how these threads of the divine, these celestial interventions, are not just stories from the past. They are like a living part of the identity of the people of Israel, shaping their thoughts and actions as they face the challenges of today and tomorrow. Chapter 7. Israel's chosen role in the divine plan. In our journey through the story of Israel, we've come to a special chapter that talks about something really big, the role that Israel plays in a plan that comes from above. It's like opening a treasure chest of ancient wisdom as we explore what is called biblical prophecies. So what's the big idea here? Israel is not just a country with a long history. It's like a key player in a special story that's not just about the past, but also about something big happening in the heavens. It's not just a place on a map. It's a part of a celestial narrative, like a story from the skies. The things that happened in Israel, like being preserved and seeing miracles, are not just stories to read about. They are like important signs of a promise that goes on and on through time. When we talk about the preservation of Israel, it's not just about keeping it safe for a while. It's like a sign, a big announcement, that there's a promise echoing through time. The miracles, which are like amazing things happening that are beyond what we can explain, are not just random events. They are like messengers telling us that there's something special going on, something that's connected to a promise that lasts forever. Each part of Israel's history, where there were moments from the heavens and things that seemed like miracles, is like a big proof of this promise. It's like a reminder that this promise is not limited by time. It goes beyond the years and centuries. It's like a special thread running through the story of Israel, making it more than just a tale of the past. It's like a living promise that continues to unfold. So, as our journey moves forward, we see that Israel is not just a place with a long history. It's like a chosen part of a bigger plan, a plan that comes from the heavens. The preservation and miracles are like markers, pointing to something amazing happening beyond what we can see. It's like a promise that continues to echo through time, making each chapter of Israel's story more than just history. It's a part of something divine and eternal. Chapter 8. Celestial Threads in the Tapestry of Prophecy. As we continue our journey through the stories of Israel, we step into a chapter that talks about something very special, a tapestry. But it's not just any tapestry. It's a divine and purposeful one, woven together by events that are beyond what we can understand. Let's explore how these special moments become threads, like pieces of a puzzle, in a story that's still unfolding. Imagine Israel's journey not just as a series of things happening, but as part of a bigger plan, like a purposeful and carefully planned tapestry. This tapestry is made up of moments that seem magical, like the celestial interventions, mysterious glows, and miracles. These moments are not just random, they are like threads woven into the fabric of a promise that's still happening. Look up to the skies above Israel, and you'll find something really interesting. Mysterious glows. It's like the heavens are putting on a show, capturing the imagination of people who see them. These glows are not just pretty lights. They add something enchanting, like a touch of magic, to the story of Israel. They become part of the narrative, making it even more special. Now let's think about the idea of celestial messengers. Imagine there are beings from the skies, messengers from the heavens. People believe in these messengers, and they see them as a sign of something extraordinary happening. It's like a conversation between earth and the skies, showing that Israel has a unique role in this divine communication. It's not just about what happens on the ground. It's also about a connection to something above, something celestial. So, as we unravel the threads in this tapestry, we see that Israel's story is not just a regular one. It's like a masterpiece, carefully crafted with moments that are beyond our understanding. The celestial threads, like the mysterious glows and messengers from the heavens, add layers of magic and significance to this ongoing story. It's like a promise unfolding in a way that's both enchanting and divine. And as we continue our journey, we'll see how these celestial threads shape the tale of Israel in ways that go beyond what we can see with our eyes. Chapter 9. Israel's compact geography and divine love. In our journey through the tales of Israel, we've reached a chapter that talks about something very special, the place itself and the love it holds. It's like looking at a map and understanding that even though Israel is smaller than other countries, it means a lot to something much bigger, the heart of God. Let's dive into why the small size of Israel is connected to a big and divine love. Imagine a place on the map, a small one, but in the eyes of God, it's like a really important spot. Israel's compact geography, which means it's not very big, becomes something powerful and meaningful in the heart of God. It's like a special place that captures the attention and love of something much greater. Now, let's talk about those mysterious glows we mentioned earlier. It's like the skies above Israel light up with something magical. But it's not just about pretty lights. These glows become like symbols or signs of the deep love that God has for the people of Israel. It's like God is saying, look at this special place and see the love I have for the ones who live there. The relationship between God and Israel is beautifully described in a special part of a book, John 3:16. It says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son." This is like poetry, a beautiful way of expressing how much God cares for the world. But when we think about it, it's like a spotlight shining on Israel, saying, here is a place that holds a significant role in the divine story. The chosen status of Israel, which means it's picked out as something special, is not just by chance. It's like a deliberate or planned act of love from something divine. It's setting the stage, creating a special journey that happens in the heart of God. So, as we continue our adventure, we see that Israel's size doesn't matter in the eyes of divine love. It's a small place with a big role, and the love it receives becomes like a guiding light, shining through the divine narrative that unfolds through the ages. Chapter 10. Israel's active role in the divine symphony. In our journey through the stories of Israel, we've arrived at a chapter that speaks about how Israel is not just a place on a map. It's like a canvas where something divine or heavenly is being painted. Even though it's smaller than other countries, it becomes something special. A place where the profound love of something greater is shown in a unique way. Think of Israel's small size like a canvas, a surface where something beautiful is being created by a divine artist. This canvas is not chosen because it's big. It's chosen because it holds something special within it. The chosenness of Israel is not about how much space it takes on the map. It's about the delicate and intricate threads of love woven into the very core of its being. Now, let's talk about those celestial messengers and mysterious glows we've mentioned before. Picture them as symbols or signs from the heavens, making Israel like a masterpiece. It's not just about lights in the sky. It's about creating something divine, like a painting unfolding against the vast backdrop of the cosmos. As we dive deeper into why Israel matters so much, it becomes clear that this chosen nation is not just sitting on the sidelines in the big story of prophecy. It's not just a passive player. It's like a main character in a grand performance playing an active and important role. Israel goes beyond just being part of historical events. It becomes part of something bigger, a dynamic participation in a divine symphony. Imagine a symphony like a beautiful piece of music where each instrument has its unique part, creating a harmonious and powerful sound. Israel, in this divine symphony, has a role that goes beyond what happened in the past. It's like actively taking part in the story of how humanity finds redemption or a way to be saved from troubles. So, as our journey continues, we see that Israel is not just a passive observer. It's like an essential player in a celestial masterpiece, contributing to a bigger story that is still unfolding. The threads of love, the symbols in the skies, and the active role in the divine symphony make Israel a unique and central part of a narrative that goes beyond time and space. Chapter 11. Ongoing dedication, despite historical tensions. Now, let's dive into a chapter that talks about something a bit tricky, times when things were not so smooth in the story of Israel. It's like even though there's a lot of love from something divine, there were moments when things got a little complicated, but don't worry, there's still a promise, a hopeful part in this story. Think about divine love like a big everlasting hug. It's always there, never leaving, and always full of care. But even with this huge love, there were times when things got a bit tough between Israel and the divine. It's like a story with ups and downs, twists and turns. Jesus, who is like a special messenger, came to Israel. But instead of everything going smoothly, there were some problems. Imagine Jesus feeling a bit sad because he wanted Israel to be a shining light, showing everyone the way to something really good. But things didn't go as planned. Israel, in some moments, didn't welcome Jesus in the way he expected. But here's the interesting part. There's a promise that says, even though things may not have gone perfectly before, there will be a special time. In that time, Israel will recognize Jesus as the long-awaited Messiah. It's like a big moment when everyone will see him come back in a grand way, bringing lots of good things with him. This promise is like a bright light in the story, showing that even when things are tough, there's hope for something wonderful ahead. And here's a really cool part: God's dedication to Israel. It's like a strong commitment, rooted in history and prophecy. Even with all the bumps in the road, there's a promise for future times. It's like saying, no matter what happened before, there's still something amazing waiting for you in the future. So as we keep going on this journey, remember that even in the tough times, there's a promise of something really good, and the dedication from above is always there. Chapter 12. Israel's position and role in the divine plan. In this chapter, we're diving into some really important stuff about Israel, how it's been at the center of some big divine moments, and how it plays a crucial role in a grand plan. Imagine it like being part of a really cool story where everything fits together like puzzle pieces. So let's start with a covenant. It's like a super special promise between God and Abraham, who is like an important ancestor. This promise is a bit like saying, you and your family are going to have a special place, a land that's just for you. And this promise sticks around, passing from one generation to the next, especially for Jacob's descendants. Now, imagine a prophet named Zechariah who could see into the future. He saw the Messiah coming in a really humble way, riding on a donkey. It's like a big moment that symbolizes being down to earth, not flashy, and bringing peace. And then there's a verse from a special book, Hebrews 9:28, that talks about Christ coming back a second time. This is a moment everyone is super excited about because it means some important things are going to happen. Judgment, redemption, like being saved from troubles, and celebration, like a big party. God's relationship with Israel is like a big story of faithfulness. It's like saying, I promised something, and I'm keeping my word. Understanding where Israel stands and what it does in this big divine plan is like having a key to figuring out the spiritual map of the world. It's like looking at what's happening in the Middle East and big changes in the world and saying, oh, this connects to what was said in those old prophecies. And here's the interesting part. As we go through these times that are a bit shaky and unpredictable, being well-informed and having strong faith is super important. It's like having a flashlight in the dark or a map when you're exploring a new place. So, as we keep going in our journey, let's remember that Israel is like a main character in a grand story, and understanding its role helps us make sense of what's happening in the world around us. Chapter 13. Embarking on a collective journey of faith. Now, in this chapter, we're talking about something really cool, how the Holy Scriptures, which are like special books that guide us, show not just individual stories, but a big picture of what's happening everywhere. Imagine it like having a treasure map where you can see where all the important things are, and right in the middle is Israel. So these scriptures, besides helping each person find their way to something really good, also tell us about what's going on in the whole world. And guess what? Israel is like the main character in this big, global story. We really want to hear from you and talk about these things together. It's like having a big conversation where everyone shares their thoughts and ideas. You can subscribe to our channel, like the videos, and even leave comments. It's a bit like saying, hey, I'm here, and I want to be part of this journey. And speaking of journeys, we're all in this together. It's like we're on a big adventure, exploring how something divine is woven into the fabric of human history. Our journey is not just about one person. It's about all of us, going hand in hand as we discover the amazing things hidden in the ages. So, let's keep going, united in our exploration. It's like being on a treasure hunt, searching for the hidden gems in the stories and moments that connect the divine and the human. And don't forget, your voice is important in this journey. We're all part of a big tapestry unfolding through time, and each of us adds something special to it.